Hi everyone, I'm Anita and welcome to my channel where we talk about everything in hypnosis. I am a QHHT practitioner and I specialize in past life regression. So for today's video, I thought we would just give you an overview of what it's like to have a session and how to prepare and what the process looks like. So you can basically book a session by going to my website. I'll leave the link in the description box and you just click on book a session. And typically, I offer appointments on weekdays from 10 a.m. and on Saturday from 11 a.m. to give you a little time to sleep in from your busy week. So basically, when you book your session, I provide you with two documents. So one document is about the overall process, which we're going to talk about, and how you can prepare for the session. So you can do things like practicing meditation, journaling, practicing writing down the first thing that comes into your mind. There's a couple of techniques that can help you to kind of loosen up and let go. I also suggest that you wear very loose clothing that you're comfortable in because you, as well as sitting, you're also going to be lying down. I also suggest that you bring snacks or anything that makes you comfortable because the sessions can last typically between 4 to 5 hours, and that can be a long time and especially if you have dietary restrictions, you may want to bring a few things to help you along. I provide water and tea and little snacks, so there's always something there to nibble on if you need some. So basically what happens is we start our interview process where we talk for about 2.5 hours, and we discuss everything that's going on in your life. We look at your challenges, why you came to QHHT, things that you may be seeing. A lot of people are seeing repetitive patterns that are on that they would like to understand. And we talk everything that goes all the way back to your childhood. We look at your career, your education, your relationships, and all the way as well into your health. So in your preparation documents, I ask you to formulate a list of questions. Now, I can typically get 35 questions, up to 35 questions in a session. So that's a lot of questions. So I also send you a form to help you sort of group your questions, because what I find in my experience is when we're asking questions to the higher self or your subconsciousness, if we ask all the questions in the subject range, we usually get much better answers. So we take your questions that you formulated and we also review them together. So sometimes what happens is we kind of answer those questions in the interview process. And sometimes we decide that we don't need that particular question and we can reformulate questions. I also help you to sort of simplify things because the more simple questions we ask, the better answers you will get. So I go through all that with you to ensure that we are prepared and have all our questions ready to go for the hypnosis session. So usually when I'm talking to you in your session, hypnosis is very simple. So basically, people have all kinds of expectations and they can get nervous and scared because they're not really sure what to expect when in trance. So here's a couple of things that sort of people typically ask me. So when I'm in trance, will I be completely unconscious and not remember anything? Well, typically, no. So myself, who's been in hypnosis maybe, I don't know, 30 times plus, I was a research client with the great Sunja Kim, as well as I went through a lot of hypnosis sessions in my training. So typically I see it can be a mix. So myself, my experience basically is it's not so much visuals, it's feelings. So I get these feelings and it's kind of intermixed with flashes of imagery. Sometimes I get a very clear picture, sometimes it's flashes, and often for me, my experience is it's a feeling, it's how I feel as opposed to something that I'm seeing. So everyone works differently in their communication. Myself, I'm very sensitive to touch and sound and smell and taste. And that often comes out in my sessions. Some people are very hooked visually. So it's all about visuals and it could be sound. So everyone is different. I think the most important thing is to understand is that most people think that you're going to sort of turn on a channel, tune in, and watch a Netflix film. That's usually not what happens. So you usually go through a series of different experiences that can affect you, can affect all your different senses in your body. And it can be really quite exhilarating. And it's just a matter of letting that go, not questioning where it's coming from, and just enjoying the experience. So if I ask you a question, just answer it simply with the first thing that comes to your mind. Don't stop to analyze that answer. Don't stop to understand who is answering that question. Just let it go and answer it with the first thing that comes to your mind. And the second thing is, if I ask you to describe something, just describe it. Describe what you're feeling or seeing or hearing or tasting. As I said, everyone has a different experience. So just being able to imagine, focus, and let go. That's all you need for hypnosis. So there's also no magic in hypnosis. We're not magicians, and basically there's no tricks. So what happens in hypnosis is you go into the theta brainwave state. This is a brainwave state that has been discovered and documented by scientific resources, and it has also been established that there are 5 brainwave states. Theta is the brainwave state that you go into before you go to bed and before you wake up. So this is a state of being that you experience on a regular basis. So again, no tricks. This is not unusual. This is something that you do on a regular basis and is very easy to go into. So I work with you into the induction with a focus of technique and relaxing exercise. And we go through the induction, which also exercises your imagination and focuses you and prepares you for the past life regression. So in your past life regression, I record your session and I basically transfer that session to you after. And it is also recommended that you listen to your session anywhere from 4 to 8 times after you finish your session. So the other sort of part where people get confused is they often say to me, they're conscious, they hear what's going on. Well, you do definitely can be very conscious of what's happening, but you can't possibly remember everything that you said in a 2-hour hypnosis session. Often when prompted, you'll remember that piece, but if I ask you to run down the session step by step, it's virtually impossible for most people. So there is also one of the reasons why we call this QHHT hypnosis is it's quantum healing hypnosis technique. There is a quantum effect in listening to your recording. And basically what happens, give you my experience, is every time I would listen to the recording, I would hear different things. It's a lot to process. It's a big day. There are a lot of things that are discussed. There are emotional things that you may have never even talked about to people. And there's a lot to process in these sessions. So by listening to your recording once a week, this basically can help you to process the whole session. I often recommend clients to write things down, and it potentially builds an action plan for you. So if you have questions about relationships, jobs, career, should I move, you should have a very good foundation in your session to help you build that action plan. Higher self or your subconscious will often, it says a lot to a lot of my clients. You're not eating well, you're not going outside, you're not exercising. So it helps you understand the things that you need to be doing in order to have a happier life. So once we finish that, your trance, we basically acclimatize you, bring you back up, have a snack, have something to drink. And I go over the big highlights of your session so that you have a sort of a understanding and an idea of an action plan right away when you walk out of that office. You can now work on that recording once it's sent to you. And I never recommend anybody to listen to the recording directly after their session. I usually say, wait a couple of days. A session can kind of make you tired. You usually have a really good sleep after a session and, time again to give you for processing. So that's sort of what a session looks like. And I send you on your way. And I always follow up with my clients with emails because often in our chats, I recommend a lot of great videos on YouTube and things like affirmations, chakra charts, all types of things. So I really love to support my clients on their journey, excuse me, so that they can move forward in that action plan. I'm always open for questions. I'm really excited and hope you book a session. It is one of the most thrilling experiences you will ever go through. The reason why I became a practitioner is because I was blocked. I felt stuck. I had chronic pain. I was smoking. I had a lot of problems and a lot of challenges in my life. And it really changed my life. And I was so excited about this modality that I wanted to be able to train in it and become a practitioner. I'm not a healer. I'm simply a guide. You do the healing, you do the work. I'm just here to help you and guide you and perhaps open you up to things that you didn't realize were available to provide you tools on your journey. Thanks very much. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any further questions or comments, just leave it in the comments box down below. Thanks for listening and have a great day.